President Donald Trump speaking from the Oval Office, signing new executive orders on several measures, including cashless bail and flag burning. President Trump also discussed the potential of mobilizing the National Guard in Chicago and other cities and criticized the use of the auto pen by the previous administration. For more, let's bring in NBC News White House correspondent Gabe Gutierrez for the headlines. Good morning, Gabe. So first, let's start with the big topic, cashless bail. Cashless bail, of course, allows a defendant to be released from jail while they're awaiting trial. That's based on their commitment to appear in court instead of paying a specific cash amount. I know some supporters of cashless bail says it avoids penalizing low-income defendants. But, Gabe, what is the president and White House saying about this order and their hopes for what it will do, not just for Washington, but the rest of the country?
Well, you know, St. Clay, the president and his administration have been railing against cashless bail for quite some time. It's something that Jeanine Pirro, the U.S. attorney here in D.C., has been talking about a lot in the last couple of days. And this executive order that the president just signed aims to eliminate cashless bail here in D.C. by potentially withholding federal funds from this jurisdiction. And also, he ordered his attorney general to look at different jurisdictions across the country and identify those that have cashless bail policies and explore ways to withhold some federal funding. Now, that is something that the administration has done for a variety of issues, trying to explore ways to stop federal funding or to the threat of withholding federal funds in order to for those jurisdictions to agree or to go along with their policy. But that is just one of the executive orders that he signed this morning, St. Clair.
All right, Gabe, the other order pertained to flag burning. What should we know there?
Well, look, this is something that should come as no surprise. The president has railed against that as well and has talked about how protesters or people that are protesting his administration might burn flags, and he, as part of his executive order, he wants there to be at least a one-year penalty for anyone who has burned the flag, and also takes a closer look at revoking visas for potentially any people from outside the country that are here who take part in these protests, and the president cracking down on this by signing that executive order.
I'm sure we'll bring some free speech questions and concerns, Gabe. The president, interestingly, saying that I assume we will try to codify all of this by Congress. Gabe, the president also made several pointed remarks at multiple Democrat governors, including Maryland Governor Wes Moore, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker. What should we know about that? And what's the latest from the White House on potentially mobilizing the National Guard in other cities?
Well, look, St. Clair, this is something that the president has been kind of ramping up the pressure on these Democrat-led cities over the last several days. On Friday in the Oval Office, he brought up the issue of whether he might send National Guard troops to other cities, including Chicago. He's mentioned Baltimore. He's mentioned New York City as well as Oakland. Now, over the last weekend, several Democrat leaders, including Governor Pritzker of Illinois, Governor Wes Moore in Maryland, have pushed back against that and said that the president and National Guard troops should not be used across the country, essentially militarizing domestic law enforcement. They pushed back strongly against that. Well, the president, as you just heard him right there, he has been blasting these Democrat leaders, saying that he wishes to extend his crime crackdown from beyond the nation's capital to other Democrat-led cities across the country. So we expect that battle to play out in the coming days and weeks of this administration, St. Clair.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.